Good afternoon, friends. Today we are going to learn reading skills. Maybe you are thinking, so we are reading so many books and we are maybe reading so many things. Why madam want to teach again reading? So we are talking about only not just reading, we are talking about the special skills and to improve your reading or efficient reading. Okay? Reading is a complex process of decoding and comprehending the written message. So, what is this? Reading is a complex process of decoding and comprehending it. So, it is looking like a very complicated, but actually, when speaking happens, so speaker speaks and the listener will be understanding the message given by the speaker. So, in this process, some kind of decoding happens. So, from some kind of decoding of the text, understanding the concept. So, we are maybe you heard the words, so that should be understood by you, and maybe that is called decoding or comprehension of the written message. A reading could be quite challenging activity because writing means it will be in front of you, but reading you have to focus, you have to listen, and you have to receive the message, then you have to decode and you have to understand. This is a challenging activity, so the act of understanding is not simple as the written message. So the reader needs to develop some special skills and techniques for efficient reading. Reading skills include vocabulary skills, visual perceptual skills, prediction techniques, scanning, skimming, intensive and extensive readings. One by one, we'll discuss now. Vocabulary skills. If you're reading anything, what does it consist of? Mostly words. So the whole passage will be full of maybe words. Reading a small paragraph, it will be having 50 to 60 words in each paragraph. So we have to understand first of all the meaning. So vocabulary of some difficult words may be there, so you cannot, the meaning cannot be communicated if you are not understanding the word particularly. So vocabulary skills are very important. This is the beginning of the reading. And visual perceptual skills, looking at the word itself, you have to able to identify, because you already have the vocabulary skill, you have to understand, you have to perceive what is the message you are getting out of these words. Because of looking at the vocabulary, you should be able to perceive something, that is called perceptual skills. That means you'll be imagining what is this about. Maybe if you see a beginning of the paragraph, sometimes we can understand this is about a funny paragraph, it is a kind of, maybe it is about some kind of suspense, some mystery is there. It's a plain, maybe it is a beautiful description of a place, so you can identify. So in the first step itself, you can recognize understanding written message. Maybe reader maybe find it difficult to understand the message if he cannot perceive the meaning of the words. So you should be having good command over the words, so that maybe you can picturize or visualize what is written in the text. So it vocabulary skills, spelling, pronunciation, word meaning recognition. So you know the words, but if you don't know the meaning, so it is, so you should be able to have the word meaning recognition also, and guessing the meaning unfamiliar words. So if maybe we are not encyclopedia to carry all the words and meanings with us, so sometimes maybe we don't have the maybe particular word you did not come across. So you should use your kind of guessing. So based on the context, what should be the meaning of the word? You should be able to identify. So then you have to analyze, use your prediction technique and get the meaning of it and try to understand the whole sense of the passage. And maybe people fast eye fixations and complete elimination of vocalization. Some people will be reading loudly, so maybe most of the people before exams, I see they'll be reading loudly. Maybe for pleasure reading, we don't do, but loud reading actually slows down your reading and your concentration, and maybe, and also your reading time also will be wasted. So it may reduce the reading speed, whereas eye reading makes reading fast, efficient, and result oriented. So if you are reading maybe with your eyes, so maybe you are reading with your mind almost. So visual. technique. So reading fast, and whereas eye reading makes the reading fast, efficient, result oriented. You can understand very fast, and you can finish reading also very fast. So, what are the tips to improve your visual perceptual skills? That means for maybe silent reading, faster eye fixations. So when you read, looking at a paragraph, so I'm maybe fixing my eyes in this particular screen, what I'm looking at. So my ideas, maybe I'm looking here, 4 points in front of me. So very easy for a fixation. So resting the reader's eye on a maybe particular word group. So maybe your the first word you see, develop faster eye fixation. So we can easily, the whole group is giving one meaning. So we can focus and learn it. Read in word groups instead of word by word. If you say, once upon a time, there is a village. So one word at a time. So it takes a lot of time. So mostly you have to, you maybe read word groups, the whole thing, not word by word. Better concentration and motivation is required for visual perception. So you should be interested to do something. You're having self motivation, or maybe someone is saying that if you are reading this, you'll get this benefit, then the visual perception may be increased. That means you'll have more concentration. You'll be having a kind of challenge in your mind. I have to achieve this, I have to learn this. Then your visual perception skills will be more. Prediction technique. Sometimes we cannot read, we'll not have time to read everything. So, and maybe sometimes maybe we can predict. So what will happen? So how the story takes a turn. So or maybe what is the paragraph about? So already I learned this question. Maybe this may be discussing about only uses and maybe the results in the end. So prediction involves index, heading, and subheadings, non-verbal content, linguistic clues. That means looking at the index itself. That means the maybe cover page will give you some idea about it. And maybe in the index they'll be mentioning the chapters. So that will be no. So the headings of it and subheadings. Non-verbal content means some kind of clues. Maybe a picture, a map is there, some information the text contains. So rapidly before reading, guessing of the theme of it will help you. This kind of prediction technique will speed up your reading. It's like pre-reading survey of the text. So without reading the text, you are just having some concept. But be careful, don't develop misconcepts. So carefully observe with your experience of reading, and you have an estimation. What is this book about? What is the content about? It will help you for a faster reading. So what are the aids? We have to scanning. What are the aids? The technique of analyzing the aids in the text makes the reading faster and easier. So what is scanning and skimming? I think these are the two techniques which are always discussed about reading. What is skimming and what is scanning? If you're putting a paper into the scanner, what will the scanner will do? So it will be line by line, it will be just moving maybe, and it will be reading the whole content, and it will give the printout as it is. That means scanning is what it is, that is going through all, but very fast the output. But when we use this technique, so when you are looking very fast into the word by word somewhere, so you are searching for some particular information. You don't want the whole text. You want a particular, maybe you are reading some kind of lesson. In that, maybe you want to know about, if it is a biology student, maybe you want to know only about reproductive technique, reproductive cycle of that particular animal. You'll be looking to that particular animal first. Then you'll go to the maybe history and all. You'll be leaving, going to the specific one. This is called scanning. So where you maybe you mostly for best example is when you are looking into the dictionary. If you are looking for a dictionary particular word, what will you do? You'll see the index and go to the particular word. So while reading specific scientific figures, dictionary are looking for a telephone number. This one more example. So if you want a particular telephone number, if you open the college directory, what you do, you'll be looking if you want to call someone, some faculty. So you'll be looking for that name. So for that particular department, you'll be opening the CSE department or maybe CE department. Depends on that you'll be doing it. Next thing is several purpose include here specific point scanning. So relevant graphic details are required. A formula in a text also you will be searching like that. So television schedules. So if you have train schedules, so whatever your interest depends on it. And examination results. So you'll be looking for your number only first. Then you'll be looking for your friend's number. You don't hit the whole. So you'll be using here scanning only. And the scanning speed with accuracy to be increased by following some simple tips. Purpose of scanning should be known. Why are you looking into that? What do you want actually? So then, if you know the purpose, then you need not eat everything. You'll be scanning only for that information. While you are doing also, you need good concentration. If your mind is somewhere and you are looking in front of the chart and you cannot locate it because your concentration, your focus is missing. So come to skimming skills. Skimming means when you are want to know what is this book about, what is the story about. Only you want the maybe central idea of the book. Then we will be going for skimming. More sophisticated than scanning. It refers to the process of reading, not to get the rough idea what is the text about. As I told you, what is the central idea of the book, what actually the book is going to tell. So three main skills. For this also we have three main skills. What are they? First thing is identify the central idea. That is only the purpose of skimming. Identify the central idea. The central idea is also called thesis statement. So mostly some people will be mentioning the beginning of the book, some thesis statement or what is the book about it. The subject and author's point of view. So the author will be writing a foreword. It need not be thesis, it can be a foreword and it's something, maybe introduction about the author, some companies will be giving that you can take into consideration. So then you can, in order to understand the central idea, the reader should carefully read the heading, subheading, the opening and closing of the paragraph. So identify the central idea involves what you need to do, what is the thesis point or what is the theme of it, and again what is the author's point of view. So then you can basically know the, maybe this kind of skimming you can understand what is the book about it and recognizing the main ideas. So maybe what are the important points in it. So you don't want to read the whole book. So you want to only, that will be your focus will be maybe you'll be just reading very fast wherever you don't require, wherever you want to read, you'll be going to that area and you'll be concentrating. So maybe each paragraph deal with one main idea. You know that. So you are writing a passage in that maybe four paragraphs are there. So one will be introduction. Other thing is about the analysis, maybe the result and discussion. So all these four paragraphs are different. So what are you looking at? So you'll be taking that paragraph and you'll be analyzing. So this is skimming. Next thing is here writer may be using writing pattern to the nature, type of text communicated and all that you can understand by skimming. The main objective of skimming is the central idea and the main points of the text. The reader needs to use the reading strategy involves fast reading and quick analysis. Reading is fast and analysis also is fast and result is also fast. Reader discovering the purpose and organizing the passage. So what is the purpose is, what is this passage? So you can easily know by skimming it. So we have two more techniques like intensive reading and extensive reading. What is intensive reading? What the type of reading which is required to know everything about it. So mostly for your subject purpose or maybe your examination purpose. So it is the reading demands better communication and three rapid techniques of prediction, skimming, scanning prepares to gives a correct reading of the reader for intensive reading. Okay, intensive reading include distinguishing between facts and opinion and drawing inference and conclusion. This part is very important. Intensive reading is you want to maybe distinguish between facts and opinions. So maybe you are reading very intensively to know what is what. So correct beginning and so maybe essential for academic purpose. As I told you, you have to answer in the examinations. You need to develop intensive reading skills. Or you are preparing a thesis for your project. You need intensive reading. But you should develop intensive reading for choosing appropriate reading method. So maybe in this also, maybe you should be able to identify what are facts and what are opinions. So fact is different from opinion. What is a fact? So the fact is as it is stated, so it will not be not from the reader's point of view. So interpretation is maybe in a sorry, opinion is, so after reading something, you'll have your own opinion. So fact is as it is stating the fact, and maybe if you are giving opinion, what are the conclusions you come about after reading will be your opinions. So that you should be having good in maybe inferences and conclusions are yours, but you should be mentioning the facts before coming to a conclusion. This is important while reading. You have to develop this skill. Receive, interpret, graphic. So you are developing while this reading, uh, receiving and interpret and graphic information. Extensive reading and maybe extensive reading is for your pleasure reading. You are reading other than your academic reading. So reading test maybe detailed specific learning aims task. Extensive reading is often overlooked, especially in a classroom activity. But if you are reading besides the textbook, anything maybe to develop your understanding about the text, or maybe to develop your knowledge or broaden your intelligentsia, so you can go for this kind of extensive reading. Active reading, passive reading. So as I told you, active reading's goal is to understand something, to learn something. So then only you'll be active reader. If you're passive reader, maybe passive reader expect the author to motivate you. Sometimes maybe we have to tell you to read something again and again. So like that, maybe author it should be giving a vivid description and all to motivate them. So some kind of interesting things should appear in the book, and only you'll be motivated. So a passive reader is not very active, as exactly opposite to active reader. So they take responsibility arousing interest in them, only active readers will be reading. If author is creating some suspense, only passive readers will be focusing. Or maybe some kind of enthusiasm should be motivated by the someone, passive readers. So be an active reader with enthusiasm to get the benefits of the reading. God bless you. Uh, so be a good reader and learn something new every day.